Assalamu alaikum dear students of class 12. Let's continue our topic, that is electrostatics. In the previous video lecture, we have seen the electric potential due to a point charge. In that we had derived a formula for the electric potential due to a point charge, which was V is equivalent to W is equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R. That's mean electric potential, which is nothing but V is equal to Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R, where Q is the charge, 4 pi epsilon naught is a constant, and R was the distance. Now in today's video lecture we have to continue this sub point, that's mean electric potential due to a point charge. So we have done with the point charge, and here we are remaining with a dipole and a system of charges. So inshallah in today's video lecture we will derive the formula for these two also. So this was the first formula. Now electric potential due to an electric dipole. So this is the diagram. Now let us consider a point C. As you can see here, this is the point C near the electric dipole at a distance of R. So you can see here, this is the electric dipole. Now you can see here, we have to consider in an electric dipole of A, B, and we have to consider that at point A positive charge is situated here, and at point B a negative charge is situated, and by a finite distance of twice of L, that is the distance of positive Q or the distance of A from the origin is L, and the distance of B or minus Q from the origin, that is O, is nothing but L. So overall AB itself is nothing but twice of L. Its dipole moment is capital P, that is a vector quantity capital P of magnitude, and as we know that electric dipole is itself is a product of electric charge into the distance between these two charge, that is the dipole. So basically P is nothing but twice of L into Q. This was the basic formula directed from negative Q to positive Q. The line joining the centers of the two charges is called dipole axis. A straight line drawn perpendicular to the axis and passing through the center O. So as you can see here, this is the line of the electric dipole, is called the equator of dipole. Now in order to determine the electric potential due to a dipole, let the origin be at the center O, as you can see here. Now as we have considered a point C anywhere point near the electric dipole at a distance of R, this is small r, you can see here, from the center O inclined. As you can see, this is not a straight or vertical line, it is an inclined line, inclined at an angle theta. It is making some angle, this angle is nothing but theta, with axis of dipole. Now you can see here R1 and R2 are the distance of point C from the charges minus Q and plus Q. As you can see, R1 is the distance of charge Q to the point C, and R2 is the distance of charge negative Q from the point C. So what we have to find electric potential due to an electric dipole. So what we can do, we can find the potential at C first due to positive charge, then again we can find the potential at C due to negative charge. So let's see the potential at these two. So potential at C due to a charge plus Q at A is just now we have seen that we had already derived a formula that V itself is Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R. But here what we are having 2 point charges, that is positive Q and negative Q. So consider that the potential at positive Q is V1 and potential at negative Q is V2. So V1 it will be Q upon 4 pi, positive of Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R1, and suppose the distance is as we had already considered that the distance is what, R1. Then potential at C due to charge negative Q at point B is V2 is equal to minus of Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught R2. As we know that the electrostatic potential is the work done by the electric field per unit charge, that is what V itself is W upon Q, and the potential at C due to the dipole is, so finally what we can say that the potential at C due to the dipole is V1 plus V2, but obvious, and as we know that 1 upon Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught, it's common in both the equation, so the remaining term in the bracket, it will be nothing but 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2. Okay, so this is the one of the things. Now see here, see this diagram here. Now what we have to find the potential due to an electric dipole, that means we have to find VC, overall formula for the VC, and just now we have seen that we are having 1 upon R1 minus 1 upon R2 in the bracket. So what else we have to do? First of all, we have to find the value of this 1 upon R1 and 1 upon R2. Then what, we can substitute this value in the last equation that just now we had seen, and we have to put this value. So how we can find 1 upon R1 and the value of 1 upon R1 and the value of 1 upon R2? So let's see the diagram first. See here, see this here. Now the triangle ACB. Okay, we have to find 1 upon R1 and 1 upon R2. Now here you can see this is the inclined line from the origin and the point C. Now see this, observe this triangle ACO. Is that rectangle? Is that right angle triangle? So no, it is not a right angle triangle. This theta is not the 90 degree. And see how we can apply the Pythagoras if we have to find the value of R1. So see here, what we have to do, we have to draw a line like this. See, you can see here, and put this point as X. Okay, so now we will see this is, it is making an angle 90 degree to here to here. We are having two triangle now. So we are having triangle CXA also and AXO also. Now see, this is the theta and this is the adjacent side. Okay, see, this is what L we are having here. This hypotenuse is nothing but L. So the adjacent side, which component, if we have to find this part, so overall this part is nothing but R. What about this part? We don't know. So what we have to do, we can find this part. So this is the adjacent side, this is L, and this is the theta. Sorry, this is the hypotenuse side and this is the theta. So here this is the adjacent side. So what we can say that it, which component will be here? See, this is the adjacent side, so we will have the cos theta, and as this hypotenuse is L, so we will have L cos theta here. Similarly, opposite to this cos theta, what we will have sin theta. So as this is the L cos theta, so this will be L sin theta. Fine. So now we can able to find this Cx. Now the value of Cx will be what? If we have to find this Cx, so it will be what? R, that is the overall CO minus OX. Yes, so what we can say that Cx is equal to R minus of L cos theta. So by geometry, if we write, now what we have to do, we have to consider a triangle CXA. So if we apply a Pythagoras to this, so we will have, this is the hypotenuse, this is the, see, So what we will have here, r1 square is equal to L square sine theta, L sine square theta, and this part what we will have, this cx is itself is nothing but r minus L cos theta whole square. So now let's see. So finally by geometry we can have in triangle CXA, so finally r1 square is nothing but r minus L cos theta whole square plus L square sine square theta by Pythagoras. Now see, open this, first of all this bracket. So we will have a square minus b square whole, sorry, a minus b whole square. So it will be r square minus 2lr cos theta plus L square cos square theta, and this L square sine square theta will be same, remain same. Okay, now if you see here, r square minus 2lr cos theta will be same. Now see here, L square cos theta plus L square sine theta. So cos square theta plus sine square theta itself is 1. So we will have this r1 square is nothing but r square plus L square minus 2 rl cos theta. So in your textbook it is given directly. So here I have explained you how this equation is solved. So see, r1 square itself is r square plus L square minus 2rl cos square theta. So this is what we had done with r1 square. Now similarly r2 square will be what, r square plus L square plus 2rl cos theta. If you if you apply the same thing, if you have to change the triangle, so you will have the same this equation. Okay, now what we have to find, 1 upon r and 1 upon r2. Fine. Now r1 square is equal to r1. What we have to do, see, observe this equation. What we are going to do here, we are going to take r square as common. So if we take r square as common, so first of all what will be the remaining thing? First of all, r square we have taken out as common, so instead of this r square we will have 1 plus L square, there is no r square, so what we have to do, L square upon, we have to divide 1 r square so that it can be equivalent, minus 2r. Now again there is a no r square, so what we have to do, we have to divide it by r square. So r and upon r square, 1 r will cancel, so we will have 2L upon r cos theta. So just see, observe this equation and now this equation. What is the change here? We have taken r square as common out from the bracket, so it will be the remaining thing in the bracket. Similarly, if we take r square as a common in this equation, so we will have this last equation, and what it will be same, instead of this minus we will have plus sign. So this is r1 square and this is r2 square. Now as this is the dipole, so for a short dipole 2L will be less than r, because for a small dipole, but obvious 2L will be less than r, and r will be much greater than L. So we can say that L upon r will be very small, and because of this we can write L square upon r square can be 0, and it can be neglected because this value will be very small. So what we will have, r1 square is equal to r square in the bracket 1 minus 2lr cos theta. See this equation, instead of this L square r we will have, we can neglect this value, so we will have this. Similarly r2 will be what we will have, instead of this minus sign we will have plus sign. So this is still, we are not having the value of 1 upon r1 and 1 upon r2. We have to find the value of that, but we are having now, just now we have got r1 and r2, but this is in the square form. So what we have to do, we can, what should be our next step? Yes, we can take the square root of that. So we will have r1 is equal to r 1 minus 2l upon r cos theta power of half, that is the root. Similarly this will be r2 will have the same thing, only the difference between this r1 and r2 is the plus minus. So now what we have to do, we have to find r1 upon r1 and 1 upon r2. So what we can do, we can take the reciprocal of the we can have, see, therefore 1 upon r1. So 1 upon r1 will be 1 upon r is equal to 1 minus 2l upon r cos theta, and r2 similarly we will have this thing. Okay, now we are having 1 upon r1 with us, we are having 1 upon r2. Yes, we have got the value of 1 upon r1 and 1 upon r2. So what we can do now, we can put this value in the equation again. So as we are having vc is equal to v1 plus v2, so instead of 1 upon r1 we can put this value, and instead of 1 upon r2 we can put this value. Fine. Now using the binomial expansion, that is 1 plus x raised to n is equal to 1 plus nx. So this is the binomial for expansion. So what we have to do, n here, see, this n is nothing but minus of 1 upon 2. X itself is what, this quantity, see, 2l cos theta r is x, and 1 will be 1. Okay, so 1 is at one place. At r1 we are having minus, and at r2 we are having plus. So we have to expand according to this, that is 1 plus nx. Okay, so it is this equation, this term is what, according to this. So we can expand this. So we will get, see here, q upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 upon r, take it out from the bracket, we will have 1 plus nx. N itself is what, half. So half will be, yes, so nx, it will be what, L upon r cos theta minus 1 minus L upon r cos theta. Okay, now what we will have here, 1 q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r. Now 1 plus Lx cos theta. Now open this bracket, apply this negative sign throughout this bracket, so it will be minus of 1. Then this minus will become plus, so plus sign will be the L cos theta. Now minus plus 1 and minus 1 will cancel each other. What we will have, L upon r cos theta plus L upon r cos theta, so whatever it will be twice of L upon r cos theta. Now as we know that it is the electric potential due to an electric dipole. Now what is electric dipole? If you see, yes, so electric dipole, that is P itself is what, Q twice of L. Okay, so instead of writing this QL, we can write only P. So we will have that finally 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is P cos theta upon r square. So this is the one of the formula. Now electric potential at C can also be expressed. This is the one of the formula. Okay, we have done this formula. Now it can also be expressed as, see, that was the scalar quantity. Now this is the vector quantity. If we take the vector of that, so we are not having any other vector, other component here, other parameters. So what we are having here, cos theta. If we take the vector of that, so we will have dot, and see what we are adding r here. This is the vector quantity, this is the distance. So what we cannot do it just as, so what we are going to here, we can for the balancing we are going to divide it by r also. We are going to multiply and divide it by r. So what it will, this r square will become r cube, and it is what, P dot r. If you apply again, so you will have that 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is nothing but P upon R square. Okay, so the value is not going to change. Fine, we are taking this vector form. So basically, as we know that vector C, this vector of R upon R, it is also called as unit vector. So instead of this writing this, we can write cap, that is the unit vector. So vector of P dot unit vector upon R square. So this is where R, yes, R cap is a unit vector along the position vector OC. So these are the final expression for the electric potential due to an electric dipole. So see, this is the formula. By this formula we can able to find the potential at an axial point and potential at any other equatorial point. So let's see the potential at an axial point, that is if theta is 0 towards q or 180 towards minus q. So this will be the answer, that it can be plus minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught P upon R square. So this is the maximum value of the potential. So where we are going to the maximum value of the potential? So at an axial point, that is when theta is equal to 0 degrees, so we will get the maximum value of the potential. Now where we are going to get the minimum value of the potential? So what obvious, potential at an equatorial point, that is at theta is 90 degree and V is 0. Hence the potential at any point on the equatorial line of a dipole is 0. This is the minimum value of the magnitude of the potential of a dipole. So this is all regarding the potential difference. Thus the plane perpendicular to the line between the charges at the midpoint is an equipotential plane with potential 0. So the work done to move a charge anywhere in this plane, that is potential difference being 0, will be always 0. So this is what we have done with the second part also, that is the electric potential due to an electric dipole. Now we are having the last point of this subtopic, that is electrostatics potential due to a system of charges. So let's move on to this. So electrostatics potential due to a system of charges. So we now extend the analysis to a system of charges. Okay, so here consider a system of charges q1, q2, q3 up to qn at a distance of r1, r2, r3 up to rn respectively from point P. Okay, this point is nothing but P. The potential V1 at P due to the charge Q is, so just now we have done the derivation that the V itself is what, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R. Okay, this was the basic formula of the potential. So if we have to find the potential V1 at P due to this Q1, so it will be what, it will be V1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 upon R1. Similarly for V2, similarly for V3, similarly for Vn, it will be what, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q2 upon R2. Then for V3, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q3 upon R3. Then Vn, it will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Qn upon Rn. Okay, so by the superposition principle that we had already studied in standard 11, the potential V at P due to the system of charges is the algebraic sum of the potential due to the individual charges. That means V itself is what, V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus dash 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 up to plus Vn. So we can substitute all this value V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus up to plus Vn. So if you observe all these formulas V1, V2, V3, so you will able to see that the 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is the common throughout all this equation. So we can take it out from the bracket. So we will have that the final potential is what, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 upon R1 plus Q2 upon R2 plus Q3 upon R3 up to dash 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 up to Qn upon Rn. That's mean finally we can conclude that the potential difference or electrostatic potential due to a system of charges is nothing but 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation of qi upon ri, where I is the integer, I is the 1, I can be equal to 1, and with the n integer of n number of charges. Okay, so for a continuous charge distribution, summation should be replaced by integration. As we know that if we are having the continuous charge distribution, so we can put the integration sign. So this is all regarding the electrostatics potential or electric potential due to a point charge, due to a dipole, and due to a system of charges. So let's stop here. Now inshallah in the next video lecture we will start with our next topic, that will be electrical energy of 2-point charges of a dipole in an electrostatics field. So in that we will have 6 points, that is A, B, C, D, E. 5 point, not F. We will have 5.5 subtopic 5 derivation we will have. So inshallah in the next video lecture I will explain that derivations.